You may have to skip the first one, come back to it.
Yeah, that's all right, we'll figure it out.
We'll wait.
All right, we're gonna go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 20th City of Oldsmar Council meeting. It is 7 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. Thank you for joining us. I have one quick announcement. Councilmember Gannon will not be with us tonight. With that, Tom Trask will lead us in our invocation and our pledge of allegiance to the flag. Please rise.
Our Father in heaven, give us the power to clearly discern right from wrong. Allow our words and actions to be governed thereby and by the laws of this land. We ask for your inspiration to strive in our endeavors to serve the public. We also ask that you direct us so that above all things we'll discharge our duties for the benefit of the people we serve. This we pray.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom. The next item on the agenda is our Citizens Open Forum. Each speaker will be recognized once and will be limited up to 5 minutes. Please state your name and your address. You can speak on any subject that is not scheduled for a public hearing. I'm going to open up the public open forum. Would anybody like to speak on this side of the room? Come on up.
Good evening, council, staff, mayor, Mr. Trask. I think staff, that also applies to you, though, too. Suda Yantas, Cologne, 402 Arlington Avenue East, Oldsmar, Florida, 34677, the wonderful town of Oldsmar. We are here for something very special today. I have a couple of my board members with us, Miss Kelly and Miss Marin behind us, and one of our theater and dance students, Miss Fallon's going to help us out. We are very proud tonight to present our council with their new membership cards for Oldsmar Culture, for our arts, Oldsmar Friends of the Arts. If you would give this to Mr. Knapp over here, we'll hold Katie's.
Thank you, Valerie.
And this one goes to Mr. Steve Graber on this side. Excuse me, I should be saying council member. Excuse me.
Thank you,
And
Phil.
Vice Mayor Jared Buckman. And Mayor Saraki.
Thank you. You
I
did.
had a quiz on him.
We were doing this hangman thing, and it said, "Who is the mayor of Oldsmar?" And I got it right.
And you got it right. All right. And Miss Kathy gets one of those over there, too. No one knew except for you.
A+ for you.
Yes, Miss Fallon. So we have included our new membership cards here. We encourage anybody that has not become a member yet to please join us on our mission. On the back, it does tell you all the little goodies that you're that you have access to. You might have to get your magnifying lens out to read it, but we thought this was a nice way to do it. And inside is your formal receipt that you want to keep and hold on for your tax purposes, as all of our tax donations are tax deductible. I would also like to give 2 of these to each person because they're going to help us pass the word, right? Here, take 2 that way. All right, going to take a bunch and hand 2 to each one, all right? And we are also reminding everybody that coming up in just a few weeks is Moana Junior, October 15th. Our showtime is at 7 p.m. You will be seeing some of our cast in all its glory on October 4th, I believe, is your next meeting, correct? Do I have that
Yes.
correct? You will be somebody that we will come and sing and dance a little bit for you and share about our great upcoming show. We're very excited and getting the word out to the community so you guys can help us pass these postcards along as well. It is a free show, of course, and the students are performing Moana Junior. We do have what we call dinner and a show, as we will have Pit Stop Barbecue and Uncle Dave's Kettle Corn will open at 6 p.m. and our show will open at 7 p.m. Oldsmar Friends of the Arts is honored to start building our membership. We cannot do this without the donations, the help, and the support of our members. And we are honored that our council is some of the forerunners of our membership, so we appreciate all of your support on that as well. And Kelly's, who kind of heading up our membership for us. We have a special drawing coming up or something. Would you like to share
We
with
do.
them?
Just briefly, we're having a membership drive right now that will continue until Moana on the 15th. And on that day, everyone who has purchased a membership will be put in a bucket, and we're doing a door prize
Yes.
for a stay at the
At the Hampton
At the
Inn and
Hampton Inn.
Suites for a weekend stay at our local Hampton Inn and Suites.
staycation.
Staycation, exactly. So anybody that hasn't jumped in yet, please look forward to joining us. And those that have, will be putting your names in our drawing that will be announced at the night of our performance for Moana. And we do encourage a council to join us if we can. And I will be reminding that we need somebody to open up and say hello
Sure.
to everybody. So make a little note on your calendars now that we would love to have council presence there with us as well. And we're hoping for numbers of 600. We'll see how it goes. We're also doing the new shuttle service, which means if they can't find a parking spot out in front of the park, go to the Oldsmar Library, and they will shuttle you from the Oldsmar Library over to the park. That is something we started on our last show, and they've been continuing, and I'm trying to roll with the punches as best as I can. So we're trying to make sure we announce it to everybody ahead of time as well, okay? Anything else we need to share with them? We are working on our mission. Oh, and another little plug, as Katie did for me last time. We'll remind everybody, mark their calendars for February 21st. Next year, 2023, will be our Mardi Gras, and we will be moving the location over to Veterans Park. I believe it's coming up on your agenda for approval in one of these next couple of meetings. And because we are moving forward as we understand on the property, and we didn't want to plan a whole event in case they start putting some barriers and barricades and stuff up. So we're looking forward to having another night under the stars with Mardi Gras, and we hope you guys all can attend and join us for that event.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Any questions for us?
Good job, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your support, both city-wise and personally, and we hope to see you all at the show. And we'll hold on to Katie's and get it to her in the next round. You guys aren't passing any paperwork along to her that I can leave it with you?
You can leave it with me.
Can we do it that way? Because
Yep.
you will probably see her before I will. Although she's my neighbor, I don't get to see her in the neighborhood. Go give that to Miss Kathy for us.
Thank you very much, Suda.
Huh? It's on there, isn't it? Did it fall off? Oh, you want to give her an opal? Of course, of course. Great. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
everybody.
All right, anyone else on this side of the room? All right, we're gonna go to this side of the room. Anyone would like to speak? Open forum. Come on up.
Hello, my name is James Hummel, 132 Arlington Street. I was hit on a bike that I came to the city council meeting in July proposing for the bike lanes to be free and clear. I didn't get a tag number. You have to get 2 witnesses, get a tag number, and you can't go and look for the actual vehicle. Thank God it wasn't my $1,200 bike. The bike was ruined, and I had over $600 in medical bills that I had to pay, even though I do have health coverage. This is why I'm stressing to the city that we need to have codes to leave the bike lanes open at all times. If I would have been riding my bike, they told me I would have had a broken neck or a broken collarbone, and I was stopped at a stop sign and still got hit. So I think we need to get our code enforcement and remind the police, let's do the stop signs, and let's also ramp up the enforcement of these bike lanes being free and open. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, James. Anyone else on this side would like to speak? All right, with that, anyone else? All right, I'm going to close the open forum. Next item on the agenda is our community minute, which will be read by our Assistant City Clerk, Kathy Horvath.
Thank you. Composting 101. On Saturday, September 24th, 9 a.m., join the Oldsmar Organic Community Garden at Bicentennial Park. to learn the basics of composting and how to utilize it in your garden. No registration is required. On Wednesday, September 28th, 6 p.m., Pinellas County will be holding a virtual public information meeting on Zoom. Pinellas County will be widening Forest Lakes Boulevard from State Road 580 to State Road 584. This online meeting will provide an overview of the project, the anticipated schedule, alternatives being considered, and they will answer questions. Participants must register online to attend at myoldsmar.com. And then Friday, September 30th, 6 to 9 p.m., come to Ariel's Park for a party in the park, family game night. Bring your family and friends to enjoy playing giant versions of well-known games, listening to live music, and eating delicious food from a food truck rally. Shuttle service begins at 5 p.m. at the library. And that's all for tonight.
Thank you, great job. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of additional new agenda items. We have items 6, 14, 15, and 16. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is awards and recognition. And it's the Olds Club, and they were at Daddy's Grill, and they're running a little late, but we're gonna get this show on the road. Here we go. Hello? Hello. All right, there we go. All right, that was a little loud. Today I am honored to present the Council Manager Award to the Olds Club of Florida. The club was born in June of 1995 at Fountain Oldsmobile in Orlando, Florida by Rodney Kincaid and John Hoyts. John actually worked most of his life for Oldsmobile until 2004 when they finally stopped making the Oldsmobile. Rodney and John came up with a dream to start the Oldsmobile Club of Florida. They published their first official newsletter back in June of 1995. After their first meeting at Fountain Olds, they already had 57 Oldsmobile dealerships signed up as club members. The newsletter published the names of the first 57 members, and by July, the club grew to 89 members. The Olds Club of Florida, after Oldsmobile stopped production in 2004, they didn't have their meetings in the Orlando dealerships anymore because they were all gone. So they decided to have their meetings around the state of Florida. They decided that the club members would travel to different areas of the state to see the history of our state, train stations, whatever it may be. A couple of examples is they went to the, I hid it in here. They went to, they go to different places around the state, and it's fun. It's an educational opportunity for them. They continue to support events in the city. The club works closely with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce for the Oldsmar Days Parade and Oldsmobile Car Show at Ariel's Park, which will be held this year, March 24th through the 26th, 2023. They have graciously driven many Oldsmar officials for many years in the parade in their classic Oldsmobile cars. In 2014 to 2016, during the Oldsmar Centennial, Karen and Leo Stutzman and Pat Witzel came to every monthly meeting for 2 years so that we could have a successful centennial here in Oldsmar. Ariel's grandson, Tom Rowe, also, who lives out in California, flew in and joined us at some of those meetings. They all enjoy driving their Oldsmobiles to Daddy Grill for their summer meetings and Ariel's Park for their spring meetings. The club recently celebrated their 25th anniversary with a dinner at the Holiday Inn here in Oldsmar. Here it is. It was on that paragraph. One of my favorites is the club meetings that take place all over the state, such as the Dade City Historical Society. That was one of my favorite ones. And then we recently just went to Palmetto and Clearwater. We saw all those old cars, especially the 1901 Oldsmobile, the original one. That was really neat. Each year, the Olds Club of Florida hosts the Bopc Car Show. That stands for Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Cadillac in Armandale, which President John Pinellas will discuss later. Their hard work raises money to benefit the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. I am pleased to honor the Council Manager of the Year Award for the month to the Olds Club of Florida. And what I'm going to do is I'd like to call up Pat and Rick Wetzel first. Come on up. Now, Pat is the Vice President of the club. Congratulations. And I'd like you to say a couple things about what you like about the club the best.
Well, we enjoy driving the Olds car. We have a 1934 Oldsmobile rumble seat coupe that we love driving, and we've driven it as far as Cincinnati, Ohio, and Tennessee a couple of times. So we love doing that, and we like meeting with all of the club members. We have a good time together. Thank you.
You want to say anything, Rick? Want to talk about our high school?
Yeah, Dan and I went to the same high school in Buffalo, New York. He is about 15 years behind me, though. So he didn't grow up very quick. He was kind of slow. Yeah, I'm a national director of the Oldsmobile Club, and we have thousands of members, and we get together once a year in some place within the country. This year we're going to go to Dayton, Ohio. Last year we were in Tennessee. And it's just a great club to, if you get a chance to go to one of our meets, please feel free to do so, whether you have an Oldsmobile or not. Now, our show, the BOPC, says Buick first, but we know Oldsmobile's first. Okay? That's all.
Thank you, Rick. Picture. What need a group? Yeah, hang on. Hold on, stay up here. Why don't you just go right back here? Thanks, guys. All right, next I want to call up Kay and Pat Higgins. You guys come on up.
Kay is shy, so
I'll get over here then.
I'm not
Come
shy
on,
at
Pat.
all.
I know you're not. So, Pat, I want you to tell me, I know you're involved in, you're a big supporter of Veterans Park. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, our club has put several bricks commemorating members in the club who have passed away and many still living. Also, we like to do the Oldsmar. We've been doing the Oldsmar parade with the dignitaries, I believe, since '96. And one of our past members who passed away a few years ago, Don Moore, was very instrumental in doing that. And we think of him whenever we do something like this because he would have been the first one to go. I've been in the Olds Club since '95. We used to caravan or carpool over to the meetings in Orlando. They were there for the first 8 or 9 years of the club. And it was quite a thing to have to get off work and get over to a meeting at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night. But several of us did it. And gradually over the years, the more active members of the club tended to be in this end of the state rather than Orlando. And so most of our members are probably in a four county area around Tampa Bay. I've had an Oldsmobile since 1980. It's a 1970 that my sister bought new off of the showroom floor. And when she got it, I said, when you want to trade that in, you call me and I'll buy it. And we bought it 10 years later. And by then we were living in Florida. She was up in Maryland. But we've had it ever since. And it's my wife's beautiful car, but she's too shy to talk about it.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Pat. Next, I want to call up Mark Harbercorn. Come on up. Now, Mark, I understand that you're a charter member.
I am, that's correct.
Tell us a little bit about
Well, this is great. I get a chance to brag about Oldsmobiles, which I've loved since 1962. And Oldsmobiles are not beginner's cars. They're for people with class and good taste. And that's why I've enjoyed the car because I've always met fellow members at car shows and on the street that appreciate what they have. And an Oldsmobile is a step above, and it reflects in the people that own them. I've never been the president of the club, but I have been an officer for many years. And I've tried to help every president that came along as a new member, as a new president of the club, and give them a little continuity on what's going on. And I was the treasurer for many years, and it's always a question of where's the money, and I knew where it was. So it's been great fun. It's not over yet. And I'm proud to say that the Olds Club of Florida is the only chapter. We are a chapter of the Oldsmobile Club of America. We're the only chapter sitting on top of the city that Ransom E. Olds founded, and I think that's extremely special, and we are so proud of it. And we want to thank you for allowing us to work with you in your city.
Wonderful. Great job. Here, take this with you. Don't lose that. And then you got to come back up for a picture. Next, I want to invite Karen and Leo. Come on up. So when I got involved in the Oldsmobile Club around 2014 with our past city manager, Bruce Haddock, Leo and Karen, they really were involved in the Centennial. They really helped me out, and that's when I really think that we became really close friends, because you guys were so. I think you actually kept me organized. Yeah, you tried. Yeah. So congratulations. Can you and why don't you tell us that little wonderful story about your car?
Well, these guys are talking about how long they've had their cars and how old they are. They leave a lot to be desired, because we've been married next week, it'll be 65 years. Wow. And we still have the car we dated in. So they talk about having it 10 years or 20 years or something like that. We've had ours for 66 years, and I work for the man that bought it new. It's a special car that in 1953, General Motors had what they called their Motorama cars. For Chevy, it was the first year for the Corvette. The Buick, it was the first year for the Skylark. For the Cadillac, it was the first year for the Eldorado. And for the Oldsmobile, it was the first and only year for the Fiesta. And I had worked for the man that bought it new, and when he got ready to get rid of it, I wasn't married, didn't have to ask somebody, can I afford it? I bought it. And we've had it ever since. And I've got the car and my wife. There you go, there.
You want to go ahead, Karen, say something.
Well, I just want to tell you how much we've enjoyed working with the city of Oldsmar. We really enjoyed the time we spent on the Centennial Committee. It was a lot of trips from Brandon to Oldsmar, let me tell you, but we did it. We have talked about Oldsmar at the national conventions or national meets in the summertime. We've encouraged many people to come, and in 16, when you had your 100th anniversary, we had quite a good number of people from out of state, as far away as Texas. We've had some in from Arizona, Wisconsin, Illinois, Vancouver, and all around. So I know they all enjoyed it. They talk about what they did here and what a good time they had. And Oldsmar was so welcoming to them and give us tours and did all sorts of things for us. We appreciate it, and we've enjoyed everything we could do for you. Thank you.
And by the way, Karen is also the treasurer. She keeps this club organized, and I thank you for all that hard work. Thank you, guys. Take that with you. All right, and then the next one is the grandson of Ari Olds. He could not be here. He lives in California, but I do have an award for him, and he will be here for Oldsmar Days, and I will present that to him. I think he might be even coming to the car show in Armandale, right? Is he coming back? Yeah, good. So I'll meet him there, but I have that. And then Sylvie, come on up. She is our Oldsmobile Spirit ambassador. And I know you want to say something because she's got this beautiful 442 she drives around in.
It's a Cutlass S Post Coupe.
Oh, I thought it was a 442.
Yeah, that's a. I just think it's funny because I think humor is very important as well. And I know Leo was talking about how long he'd had the Oldsmobile and been with Karen. I think that's about how long we were waiting to get our credit cards unhinged at where we just ate. I was like, I think we've been together just as long now. But anyway, I love the Olds Club. Like, you guys are like a family to me. And Oldsmar is very important. I grew up in a town called Linden where they made Oldsmobiles, and I think there's always been an Oldsmobile in my life somewhere. So I hope we get to come together for many years to come.
Thank you. I got your number right over here. Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you. And then Carrie and Paul. Carrie is our secretary. Carrie and Paul Berm, come on up. You do a great job with those monthly newsletters, and plus you're fast at typing. You do a great job. You're amazing.
Thank you, Dan. Paul and I have been part of this car club since probably 1995, when it actually was in Orlando. We came over to the West Coast about 2 years ago, so we were able to be more involved with the car show and be members and be more involved. Paul has a 72 442. There you go. So red. Ever since I've met Paul, we've been married almost 43 years. He's had an Oldsmobile, so it's just part of the makeup of our marriage, and he's had several cars through the years. So the best part, and I've said this many times, is the people you meet. We have met so many nice people, Dan and Paula, and all the people part of the Oldsmobile Club, and we've enjoyed going to monthly meetings and just getting to know everybody on a personal basis. So it's been a great experience. So that's
You want to say anything, Paul, real quick?
No, you got it.
Well,
Already pretty good.
All right. Thank you, guys. This is for you. Thank you. Congratulations. Yes. And then last, Susan and John Spinella, you want to come on up? The president of the Oldsmobile Club. Mr. President, you do a great job. John, you got some stuff you want to tell us.
Well, I've been an Oldsmobile fan since high school. My first car was a 68 F85, 6-cylinder, 3 on the tree, and I drove the wheels off that. I've probably had 15 Oldsmobiles since. One of my favorites was a 68 convertible. I used to drag race out at Sunshine Drag Strip. And it was also my street car, so, and I used to have a little fun with it on the street too, but. When I was in high school, I went to high school at Plant High, and I took a class called Florida History. So one of our assignments was to give a report on something historical in Florida. So me, having an Oldsmobile, going through the book, looking, there was no internet back then. Came across the city of Oldsmar. So that was my oral report in high school. Right now, we drive a 68 442 convertible, triple black, 4-speed. We've also got a 91 custom cruiser wagon and a 66 Tornado that I haven't put on the street yet, but it's soon to be coming. And it's just been a great car for us. I want to talk a little bit about our Bopc Car Show coming up next month, the 22nd of October. Last year we had about 170 cars. This year we're 25 to 30 cars ahead of where we were at this time last year. We're expecting over 200 cars. It's free to the spectators, and it's a great time. People just wait and anticipate this show coming up. There's usually when we go to car shows, there's Chevys and Fords and Pontiacs, and you see very few Oldsmobiles. But this show, the Buick, Olds, Pontiac, Cadillac, we get the cream of the crop there. And it's in Auburndale, downtown City Park in Auburndale. It's a great venue. We're going to have a food truck, a DJ, door prizes, raffles. 50-50 swap meet. So if you can get out there, you're more than welcome. We have a great time.
Thank you, John. Great job. All right, everybody, come on up. We're going to get our picture taken. And do you mind, City Council, I'd like you guys to stand behind, if you wouldn't mind, and get in the picture, please. I would like everyone in the picture. And Paula, this is for you. Yeah, but you deserve one, too. All right. Get in. Oh, yes.
We're gonna have to squeeze in a little bit from this side.
Don't block the sign. Don't block the seal. Yes, I don't know. No, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Wait, one more.
Hey.
I got you. You got all kinds of time.
Get in here, yes.
Okay, we're gonna take a few here. Ready? Everybody smile. Okay, everybody say Oldsmobile.
Oldsmobile.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
One last thing.
One thing I failed to mention, and it's probably the most important thing, we donate the proceeds from our show, from our BOPC show, to the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. I think last year we gave them close to $2,000. Is that $500 to Metropolitan Ministries? We also have the FFA, Future Farmers of America, come in the morning and they sell coffee and donuts at the show. So we try to help as many organizations as we can. We're not for profit. We're for having a good time and helping people that need a little hand. So if you would, please come out and support our show. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. Sure. What do you want to say, Pat?
I don't want Oldsmar to be miffed because we have our show in Auburndale. But the reason why we have it in Auburndale is because it's much more centrally located. We used to have it in Orlando, but it got too crazy there.
Okay.
And also our charity, we looked for a charity that was across the state because we're an across the state
Beautiful.
show. So.
And the reason why, I just want to say one last thing. The reason why I really wanted to give you this award, because the last couple months I've been going around talking to the younger generation about Oldsmobile, and they say, what's an Oldsmobile? So that's why I wanted you guys out here. I wanted you each to say something about Oldsmobile so that the younger generation that's watching this tonight will know. Thank you, guys. Next item on our agenda is our consent docket, and that will be handled by Kathy Horvath.
Thank you. Item number 2, approve payment to legal counsel for August 2022 legal services. Item 3, approve awarding invitation to bid 2022-005-ITB, construction of Harbor Palms Infrastructure Project, Phase 3, to Harbor Contracting, LLC, an exercise additive alternate for a cost not to exceed $3,483,530. Item 4, approve agreement with Shoemaker Advisors LLC for consulting and lobbying services for fiscal year 2022-2023. Item 5, approve awarding invitation to bid 2022-013-ITB aeration system upgrades at the Water Reclamation Facility to C&T Contracting Services LLC. Item 6, approve awarding contract to Weatherproofing Technologies, Inc. for the replacement of the roof at the Cypress Forest Recreation Center per the pricing terms and conditions of Omnia Partners contract number R180903, piggyback 19-016. Item 7, accept resignation of Rebecca Fitz from the Code Enforcement Board.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to pull anything from the consent agenda?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to pull item number 2.
Item number 2. Okay. All right. I need a motion to approve item 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Vice Mayor, you have the floor about item number 2.
Yeah, I have some questions about the bill and the agreement with Tom and his firm. Looking at the bills, there are lots of charges here in regards to non-attorney services with KT. I don't know all the initials off the top of my head, but Kathy Toka is non-attorney. I went back and looked at the agreement with Tom and his firm, and there was nothing in here about non-attorney fees being billed to us, nor is there a fee schedule attached here to show those fees, that we've agreed to those fees. And I'm just trying to understand, like, are we paying for stuff that we're not contractually able to, obligated to pay for? Or do we need to rewrite the agreement? Or, because the agreement seems kind of weak, being a one-page agreement for an attorney services when our charter only is one paragraph about the duties and responsibilities of the attorney. So I'm just trying to get this straight and try to understand, there's no termination clauses in this, there's no reps and warranties, there's nothing in this agreement protecting the city from anything in case we're harmed by. And I'm not saying, Tom, you're gonna harm us, I'm just saying there's nothing in this agreement that shows me this is a full agreement, it's more of a letter of understanding. So when I look at these charges and I don't see a rate fee in here, I have a hard time approving these $75 fees for these non-attorney services that are not in the bill.
Does anyone want to respond to that, or Felicia, do you want to respond to that?
I don't have anything to say to that.
So, Vice Mayor, I think what you might want to do is maybe, do you want to speak with the city manager on that on a one-on-one basis, or maybe make a meeting with Tom on it?
I can do that.
Is that okay with you, Tom?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to?
That is it for now.
All right, so then on item 2, approve payment to legal counsel for August 2022 legal services. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Yes.
I have one opposed. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is City Attorney Tom Trask, and it's item number 8. It's a quasi judicial hearing, public hearing. Tom, you will have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is to approve a simple adjustment application for minor site plan amendments and consider a variance for existing building architecture for 3964 Tampa Road. As the mayor said, it is quasi-judicial hearing. So I need to swear in anyone that's going to testify at this hearing. If you could stand up, raise your right hand, and be sworn under oath. You swear the testimony you're about to give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. So with that in mind, we'll have city staff go ahead and make a presentation, Mayor.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, hello, Tatiana Childress, City of Oldsmar Planning and Redevelopment Director. So this item is a 3964 Tampa Road, a simple adjustment approval request and building architecture variance consideration. So this is a request for simple adjustment approval for minor site plan amendments and building height variance request to allow a one-story building along Tampa Road corridor to maintain existing building architecture for a property located at 3964 Tampa Road in the Town Center Commercial Residential Zoning District. The extended building vacancy triggered city codes and the site must be brought into compliance. The site is located both within the Town Center and also Tampa Road corridor and is subject to architectural standards as well as design standards, which requires council approval. The existing location and the conditions are presented on the following slide, and as mentioned before, the building is located at 3964. It is known as a former Zen Zone building. It's on the corner of Tampa Road and Washington Avenue in the TCCR zoning district with the future land use of CRD Community Redevelopment District. The existing site is approximately 0.44 acres, and the existing building is 48,000 square feet. It's part of the Washington Square Plaza Shopping Center. The following slide just to demonstrate existing building and existing site conditions. The proposed site improvements include the 48 square foot building that will be remodeled. The building square footage is unchanged here. Extended brick paver and gathering space with new bicycle rack is demonstrated on the graphic. Pedestrian benches, upgraded building exterior featuring column accent color, wide split face block, and colorful lowscaping. The existing 19 parking spaces will be maintained. In addition, there is also a cross-parking agreement on file, so in case there is a need for additional parking, there is a cross-parking agreement with Washington Square. The site plan includes existing vehicular access to Tampa Road Corridor and Washington Avenue and will be maintained via this cross-access agreement. The applicant agreed to contribute $8,580.08 to sidewalk escrow by providing a fee in lieu. We've collected that payment today. Per section 5.2.5 of the Town Center Development Code, a minimum sidewalk width within the town center is 10 feet, and the current sidewalks along Tampa Road and Washington, they do not meet those requirements, so we negotiated the payment in lieu at this time. Upgraded building exterior features existing Mediterranean architectural style, which is accented by the reddish terracotta appearing roof, with white slate face block walls accented by the sea blue columns. And additionally, applicant will be required to install the screening for the mechanical equipment located on the roof. Per Tampa Road Corridor Plan and Town Center Code, mechanical equipment located on the roof must be screened from the view from Tampa Road, and the applicant will be provided adequate screening or will remove the equipment from the roof for the consistency with the Tampa Road Corridor. The applicant will also provide upgraded landscape as demonstrated on this proposed plan. It will include enhanced landscaping along Tampa Road Corridor, will include tiered landscaping and required landscape along around the base of the monument sign. The building variance is a request of the applicant to the building height to allow a one-story building along Tampa Road Corridor to maintain existing building architecture. Per Tampa Road Corridor regulations, flat roofs shall be screened with parapet walls, and single-story buildings shall appear as two-story buildings. The justification for this variance includes existing building architecture, so the existing mansard may make the building appear shorter than it actually is. The building is actually 15 feet 7 inches, and the existing mansard is in a good condition and is also a functional building element. In review of the existing building structural cross-section provided by the applicant, it is evident that the actual height is diminished by the unique and classic architectural feature as demonstrated on these graphics. So these pictures demonstrate the existing mansard, and this graphic is a cross-section which shows that mansard extends almost to the center of the building height. Based upon the above discussion, staff recommends approval of the simple adjustment plan as presented and approval of the building height variance to allow a one-story building along Tampa Road Corridor to maintain existing building architecture with one condition. The owner will be required to install screening for the mechanical equipment within 6 months of this approval or to relocate the mechanical equipment from the roof. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff? Yep, sure.
Just a brief one.
Yes, Councilman.
Thank you, Tatiana, for the presentation. I fully understand the reasons why we may have the desire to hide mechanical can be essentially considered unsightly. You know, it's very functional, of course. Could you maybe explain a little bit perhaps why there may be a desire as far as the Tampa Road corridor design considerations for that appearance of a two-story structure.
I believe it goes together with other details of the plan. You want to bring the buildings closer to the right-of-way and create that corridor look so that you're not driving and you're not adjacent to parking lot. Like, I hate to pick on Walmart, but you see a sea of asphalt when you drive by Walmart, so their building is like tucked away in the back. So here, just to bring the businesses closer to your road, so you can be, it could be inviting and it could be visible, basically. So it's kind of like a marketing feature, and it's why, sorry, I'm having trouble with my voice.
That's all right. Thank you for the answer. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all.
Anything else, guys? All right. Thank you, Tatiana.
Before she sits down, you want your staff report to be received into evidence, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. And then, are you here for the applicant?
I am.
Okay, do you have any cross-examination questions for Tatiana before she sits down? No, I do not. Okay, Mayor. So we
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to open up the public hearing.
We need the applicant to go ahead
Oh.
and present.
Do you have any, would you like to present anything? Come on up. Oh, sure, come on up.
My name is Patty Stow. I'm an architect. I do business as Patty the Architect, incorporated at 1634 San Roy Drive in Dunedin, Florida. And I just really want to thank not only Felicia, but Tatiana, because we were put in a peculiar situation with the existing tenant in the building, who the owner was very disappointed, had taken steps and done things that he shouldn't have done. So we want to apologize for anything that the previous tenant did. We are currently, hopefully, going to enter into contract with Tampa Dancing Company, and they'll be taking over the building. That's why the accent colors of aqua and the signage itself, because it'll be their logo on the main sign. I think it was just really delightful to work with staff. I couldn't get over how intelligent Tatiana is in interpreting the code, finding the places where these things are in the code, because you don't have an easy format, you know? There's a lot of information, and you've got to really dig through it all to be able to interpret it. And she was able to do that quickly and concisely for me. And Felicia took a phone call when she didn't even need to take a phone call. And in this day and age, you try to get a hold of the county, and it's don't call, don't leave a message, send an email, and you're left standing. And the owner was in a big hurry because we're going to lose the dance academy if we don't proceed quickly. And we do want to proceed and hopefully occupy the building within the next couple weeks. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Questions?
Any questions for the applicant? No? Okay, you're good. Thank you. All right, I'm going to open up the public hearing. Are there any proponents or opponents that would like to speak to the council? No one? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Any other council discussion?
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
So the motion is to move staff recommendation to approve with the condition that staff had recommended.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mr. Tom.
All right, thank you.
All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Graber,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buckman,
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp,
Yes.
Mayor Saraki.
Yes.
Okay, the simple adjustment to approve the building height variance to allow a one-story building along the Tampa Road corridor to maintain the existing building architecture with one condition regarding the installation of screening for the mechanical equipment within 6 months or relocating the mechanical equipment from the roof is approved with 4 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item number 9. Tom?
So this is a public hearing for the second reading of ordinance 2022-10. I'll read that ordinance by title only. Ordinance 2022-10, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, amending section 70-295 to provide for a 5.5% increase over the next 5 fiscal years to the monthly service charge for reclaimed water and the reclaimed water serviceability charge. amending Section 70-444 to provide for a 5.5% increase over the next 5 fiscal years to the water service monthly service charges and consumption rates, to provide for a 5.5% increase over the next 5 fiscal years to the irrigation or processed water rates, amending Section 70-445 to provide for a 5.5% increase over the next 5 fiscal years to the sewer service monthly service charges and consumption rates, amending Section 70-447 to provide for a one-time increase for miscellaneous service charges, including delinquent water turnoff, water turn-on after hours, meter reread, water turn-on, and water turn-off, amending Section 70-450 to provide for a one-time increase to water and sewer connection fees, amending Section 70-451 to provide for a one-time increase to meter installation fees, amending Section 70-453 for a one-time increase to private lift station permit and inspection fees and reinspection fees, and providing for an effective date hereof. That was the second and final reading of Ordinance 2022-10 by title only. It was first read on September 6, 2022. There have been no changes from that first reading.
This is a public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this matter? I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone here? No? I'm going to close the public hearing. I need a motion to approve.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? No? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Graber,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buckman,
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp,
Yes.
Mayor Saraki.
Yes.
Second and final reading of Ordinance 2022-10 is approved with 4 votes for and 0 against.
All right, we're moving on to item number 10. Tom?
This is a public hearing for the second and final reading of Ordinance 2022-11. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2022-11, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, rezoning the south 13.45 acre portion of that certain real property described as parcel number 23, 28, 16, 63936, 265, 0010 from C3 Commercial Wholesale and Warehousing District to C2 Commercial General, and providing for an effective date. That was the second and final reading of Ordinance 2022-11 by title only. It was first read on September 6, 2022. There have been no changes from that original hearing.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this matter? With that, I'm going to close the public hearing. I need a motion.
So moved to
Second.
approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Graber,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buckman,
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp,
Yes.
Mayor Saraki.
Yes.
The second and final reading of Ordinance 2022-11 is approved with 4 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Tom. Next item on the agenda is item 11. It's also a public hearing, which will be led by our city manager, Felicia Donnelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Public hearing to adopt Resolution 2022-16, establishing a millage rate of 4.05 mils for fiscal year 2022-23. On July 19th, 2022, the City Council authorized the city manager to complete the certification of taxable value indicating a proposed millage rate of 4.05 mils to the property appraiser. In August, Pinellas County Property Appraiser mailed the truth and millage notices to all property owners, advising them of the city's proposed millage rate for the fiscal year 22-23. The proposed millage rate is equal to the previous year, which was also 4.05 mils. Florida statutes requires a separate vote by the City Council for the adoption of a millage rate and a budget. The first public hearing adopting the tentative millage rate was held on Tuesday, September 6, 2022. A second and final hearing is required to adopt the millage rate. I'll read the resolution in full. Resolution 2022-16. A resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, setting the millage levy for the City of Oldsmar for the year beginning October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023, and whereas in accordance with the law, the Pinellas County Property Appraiser has certified to the City of Oldsmar a rolled back millage rate of 3.7011 mils, and whereas the proposed millage rate is greater than the rolled back rate by 9.43%, And now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmar in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida hereby sets a millage rate for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022, ending September 30th, 2023 at 4.05 mils. Section 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. I am going to open up the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this matter? With that, I'll close the public hearing. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
I need a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Graber.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buckman.
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp.
Yes.
Mayor Saraki.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-16, establishing a millage rate of 4.05 mils for fiscal year 22-23 is approved with 4 votes for and 0 against.
We are rolling. Item number 12.
Item number 12, Mayor, public hearing to adopt Resolution 2022-17, establishing a budget for fiscal year 2022-2023. The proposed budget was presented to the City Council on Monday, July 18, 2022. The budget work session was held on August 3, 2022. Florida statutes require separate vote by the City Council for adoption of the millage rate and the budget. The first public hearing adopting the tentative budget was held on Tuesday, September 6, 2022. A second and final hearing is required to adopt the final budget for fiscal year 22-23. I'll read the resolution. Resolution 2022-17. A resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, adopting the budget appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for year beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023. And now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmar does hereby establish the appropriations for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023 as follows. General Fund, $17,115,520. Public Safety Impact Fund, $1,379,500. Parkland Dedication Fund, $15,300. Multimodal Impact Fund, $15,250. Community Redevelopment Agency Fund, $873,900. Debt Service, Veterans Memorial Park, $169,500. Debt Service, Harbor Palms, $380,295. Capital Improvement Fund, $6,090,000. Water and Sewer Operating Fund, $13,232,050. Water and Sewer Impact Fund, $92,500. Stormwater Utility Fund, $4,857,005. Solid Waste Fund, $3,149,600. Total budget appropriations, $47,370,420. That Section 2, that all purchase orders for materials and services that remain open at the fiscal year in FY 21-22 are to become supplemental appropriations in the respective departmental accounts in the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2023, unless canceled. Section 3, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. I'm going to open up the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this? With that, I'll close the public hearing. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any other discussion on this matter? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Graber.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buckman.
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp.
Yes.
Mayor Saraki.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-17, establishing the budget for fiscal year 2022-23 is approved with 4 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. Item 13.
Item number 13 is approve the First Amendment to an interlocal agreement for planning and mapping services and our special project work with Forward Pinellas. We have an existing agreement with Forward Pinellas to provide planning and mapping services or special project work as needed, which will expire September 30th. This proposed amendment extends the current agreement until September 30th, 2026 under the same terms. The agreement does not obligate the city to use the services in any way, and the agreement may be terminated at any time with proper notice. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any other discussion? I have just one question. We've really never used this, have we, over the years?
No, sir, we haven't, but it's available.
It's available. Okay. Yep. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is our city clerk, and that's Kathy. You have anything you would like to, nothing?
No, thank you.
All right. City Council, item 14, consider the request of $1,000 by the North Pinellas Advocate for Racial Equity. This is a new agenda item. And do we want to open this up for discussion? Does anybody want to, Felicia, you want to explain this for us?
So the North Pinellas Advocate for Racial Equity is a 501c3 organization, and they requested a grant of $1,000 to help fund data gathering regarding the needs of minority small businesses of North County. The request is attached, so it's $1,000. It's for the North Pinellas Advocates for Racial Equity to conduct a survey of 75 to 100 Black or brown businesses in North County. The deliverables would be that we would receive the contact information, and we would receive the thoughts of each regarding what they need to attain sustainability, recommendations for next steps. The request is being funded by other cities, including Clearwater, Dunedin, Safety Harbor, and Tarpon, and other entities, including South State Bank and Truist Bank.
All right, are there any other comments or any questions by anybody? Would like to talk about this? No? All right, then I need a motion to approve. You want to say, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, looking at this, I understand what he's trying to accomplish here, and I can appreciate the approach to looking for areas where there is some opportunities, but really, isn't this truly a function of the Chamber of Commerce and not the city of Oldsmar?
That's a good question.
I mean, he says it's got the Chamber of Commerce leaders, and he's got the St. Pete Chamber, and he's got the Tampa Chamber, but I don't see that Tampa Bay Chamber in this. And I feel like they'd be a better partner in this process than the city would, because at the end of the day, the information that's going to be delivered to us, I think we already have. We're paying $1,000 for information we already have. So I think that the chamber needs to be brought into this and have a discussion with them and see if that's a better place for the funds to come from.
Do we know if the other cities already gave the money? Do we know that yet, or?
I do know that a couple of cities have already rendered their funds. I'm not sure about the other ones, though.
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Councilmember Knapp.
Given this specific request, I would move to postpone the consideration of this until a date certain of October 18th council meeting, given, I'll end my motion there, and then we can discuss.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by, any other discussion? Yep.
Now may I discuss? Thank you.
All right.
Reason being is I know that the vice mayor had requested that it's on our next tentative agenda to formalize a process for distributing money. So whether it is something that we feel is better suited for the chamber, or that ultimately we decide we would like to contribute from the city's perspective, I think waiting until we're right at that cusp of having something more formalized, that maybe we resequence everything. I love the idea of helping out minority-owned businesses. Definitely not opposed to that, but given we're kind of right at the cusp of doing that, I'd like to get that ironed out first. And then from there, we can proceed with any other requests at that point.
Thank you.
And we're down a council member, so
Right.
nice to have all of our input.
Any other discussion? Councilmember Graber, Vice Mayor? I have to agree with you. I think it's a great idea to hold off, and thank you for your motion and your second.
Sorry, one more thing. And the other thing I just noticed is there wasn't really a clear indication of timing of when this may or may not happen.
Right.
So I feel like if we're waiting roughly a month, then hopefully it's not too detrimental to their efforts.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is item 15, approved distribution of $237,081 of federal fiscal year 2021 Irwin Burr Memorial Justice Assistant Grant Program funds. This was emailed to me a couple weeks ago, and we're kind of a little bit late on this. Felicia, you want to explain it to us? You have anything?
Yes, Mayor. The Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant, they're known as JAG grants. It's a nationally formula-based block grant program. It's administered by the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, with the goal of improving a criminal justice system. The program provides funds to local units of government as well as state criminal justice agencies. And the Florida Department of Law Enforcement requests that the City of Oldsmar, along with other agencies, approve the distributions of funds to be in compliance with the Florida Administrative Code. So we received this letter, and they're looking for approval of the distribution of funds of more than 51% of the municipalities in Pinellas County. So we received the letter. I'll be happy to read the distribution of funds.
Is that necessary? I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
I think we're good. Any other discussion on this item? It's not costing us anything. So, all right. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second? Second. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 16, discuss council member rotation to accompany Mayor Saraki to the monthly Mayor's Council of Pinellas County Luncheons. So at the beginning of the month, on Wednesday, the Mayor's Council has a luncheon, and I went to the last one, and there was a presentation done by the St. Petersburg College, and I was really impressed, and I noticed that other municipalities bring council members if they can get off of work or if they can come, and sometimes they bring the city manager or they'll bring the city clerk. And I mentioned it to Ann Nixon, our city clerk. I said, I really would like to offer the council members or anybody from city staff to join me in the meetings, the luncheon. I think it's very informative, and I just want to open that up. You can talk to Ann if you'd like, or Kathy, and sign up which one you'd like to go to if you can get off of work or on your, if time's permitting. But I think it's really a educational opportunity, plus you get to meet the mayors, the other mayors around Pinellas County. They all show up, and I think it's a really educational experience for all of you, and I want to include you guys. Okay? Yep. I don't think we need a motion. You have discussion?
Just clarification, it's the first Wednesday of each month, 11 to 1:30,
Yes.
11 to 2?
We get there at 11:30, that's like, they serve lunch right at 11:30, so I would like to get there like a quarter after 11, because they serve it right at 11, you eat your lunch at noon, they start, and you're out of there at 1 o'clock, you're out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a scheduling thing, so I gotta make sure.
Rotates.
Yeah, it's once a month, so if one of you guys want, one of you want to pick, or Katie wants to pick, I would love
Where are
it.
they held? What part of the?
Marriott by the, where is that, the Marriott in St. Petersburg, I forgot what street, it's by the PSTA office.
Okay, so it's down, we gotta get down to St. Pete.
It's by the airport.
Feather Sound.
I think the vice
Yeah,
mayor said
Feather
the same
Sound,
thing.
yes, yeah, the Marriott.
Time.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
time. I think you're probably doing the same thing too. It's like, how long?
Just out of curiosity, have they thought about rotating the location throughout?
No.
Okay, so it's always.
And the thing that's funny that you mentioned that, the last meeting we had, they were, actually didn't have enough room for everybody.
Oh, wow.
They were bringing more chairs in.
Okay.
But the food's really good.
Share the wealth, right?
All right, so work with Ann or Kathy if you want to pick one, and if you can go, and, you know it's the first Wednesday, and I'll pick you up, whatever, we can drive together. It's actually really educational experience. All right.
Okay.
Item 17, council comments. Andrew, Councilmember Knapp, you're up first.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. First off, I'll be participating in the UTV Chamber Golf Tournament this coming Friday, which is to benefit Project Pop Drop, obviously a great organization that many of us here have in some way, shape, or form participated and helped with in the past. It's being held over at the Eagles Golf Club up there on Racetrack Road, starting 8:30 shotgun start. I'm not sure if they've filled it up, but it should be fun. Good time, as always. The other thing then is last week I was able to make an appearance and hang out with our 2022 class of the Janet Miller Citizens Academy, or Janice Miller. Forgive me. Last week was Law Enforcement Day, so we had our fabulous Pinellas County Sheriff's Office team here in the facility. They were here at first in council chambers, then we got to go outside, see the chopper come right over the tree line here. We got a demonstration of K-9 unit, as well as, I had to, forgive me if I leave early, Deputy Martinez, did the traffic stop simulations happen? They did. So they also got to do simulated traffic stops, and there was an abundance of questions about traffic stops and concealed weapons carry, and it was a great time. And the class was just really, Councilmember Graber's wife is in the class, so
Apparently
it
she's
was.
been voluntold to be the photographer, so.
Yeah, she was out there snapping some great photos, so it was a real good time. I was happy to be involved and participate in that one, and I know y'all, Mayor, I think you got to participate already, so.
Yes, yep. Mhm.
But for the rest of us, look forward to it. The class is great, and it's always great to see some new faces interested in our functions here in the city. So that's all I have. Thank
Well,
you.
I was wondering, because on next door, they were saying, why is there a helicopter? You know, what's that helicopter?
It's funny you mention that. As we're walking outside and the helicopter's coming, somebody said, this is going to be on next door in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And sure enough, people are refreshed, and
Yeah.
it happened. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much. Councilmember Graber.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Just a few things as well. I'm attending the Florida League of Cities Florida Municipal Investment Trust meeting this weekend. Thankfully, it's here, so it's in Clearwater. So excited about that. The participation in that trust has been a really good experience for me, getting to meet, as you had just mentioned, meeting all the mayors. You get to meet a lot of leaders from around the state, so it's been really beneficial for me. Party in the Park this weekend, as Kathy had mentioned, 6 to 9 should be a good time at RE Olds. And just a quick reminder to everyone, there's some action going on in the Atlantic with some storms, so just make sure you got a plan. Pay attention to what's going on. Nobody wants to be surprised, so I'd recommend getting loaded up, having your plan ready, getting all your supplies, and just keep an eye out. That's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. First, Kathy, great job tonight. I know Ann couldn't be here tonight, and we know she's in our thoughts and prayers tonight. Secondly, I had the opportunity to attend the grand opening of Mandolas. Really interesting concept. Excited to be there. Nice to meet the original guy who started Johnny Carrabba's. That was really neat to meet him as well. We actually wound up going back last night with my family for dinner, so they had an opportunity to try the food, and the kids loved it and everything else. Looking forward to our second Friday. I know we got rained out. I was actually out of town, so I couldn't make it anyway, but I'm looking forward to that. And I know that, do we need to discuss with the chamber, are we still doing the car show there?
I don't know. One reached out to me. Has anyone heard? Have you heard?
Yes, we are.
No.
They were wondering which one of us was going to judge at the last one.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Yeah, so.
We'll figure that out.
We'll
We
need
can
to
do
figure that out. Getting excited about Opal. Always fun with the kids to go out there and watch that. Moana's a great little play. Kind of saw a little bit of it online recently. And then a happy 6th birthday to my little Zach. He's going to be 6.
Wow.
27th, and he's getting excited for the upcoming hockey clinic that he loves to run into walls and different things. So that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I just have a couple things. I have to talk about the Jolly Trolley. The Jolly Trolley there's going to be 3 tours, Saturday, October 15th, 11 to 11:15 a.m., 12 to 1:15 p.m., and 2 to 3:15. The early morning, the 10 a.m. is almost sold out. There's a couple tickets left also from the noon. There's plenty seats available. Our leisure services chairman, Ken Sonorowicz, is I guess you could say he's the historian who's going to be talking on the tour of the trolley all day, talking about our history of our city. Don't miss it. Tickets are only $20. It's an hour and 15-minute tour. The Jolly Trolley is going to be open air, so you'll be able to drive through the city and learn all about the history of our city. Don't miss that. And then the other thing is the Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation. They are excited. They're having a program for Eat for Education to support local schools. It's only 1 week away on Tuesday, September 27th. They will donate a portion of the sales that day to the Upper Tampa Bay Foundation. There's 3 restaurants participating. Eve's Family Restaurant at 3150 Tampa Road, Juan's Mexican Grill, 3860 Tampa Road, Suite F, and Mandolas Italian Kitchen, which Vice Mayor just talked about, at 3138 Tampa Road. They just opened up yesterday. It's just mention, it's Eat for Education. When you go into any of those restaurants on September 27th, they're going to donate some of their funds from the meals to the Education Foundation. Thank you, Eves, Wands, and Mandolas, for supporting the schools in Upper Tampa Bay. More restaurants to follow. If you have any other questions or you need more information, visit www.eatforeducation.com. There's more information there. And then the last question I have for Councilmember Knapp is the golf. Is you doing that through your company? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'll find out. Thank you.
Yeah, look it up.
All right, and that's all I have. Next item on the agenda is approve the attendant agenda for October 4th, 2022 council meeting. Does anyone wish to pull or add to the agenda? Steve, why are you laughing?
Because I was going to make a joke that I'm sure Felicia wanted to add more to the 26 agenda items, but I didn't.
She wanted to make it as big as last meeting.
All right, since there's no one wants to add or pull, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Let's go to Mandolas. Meeting adjourned.
Throw order in now.